too. This is my baby here. This is my little sister. This is my sweetheart. Hey, honey.
Thank
I'll just
you.
kiss your hand right now.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
You know something? I remember when we first met, you were always positive, even when you were going through rough times, and you went through some struggle system, right?
Yeah.
And you have a son,
Yes.
and his name is Miles.
Miles Christopher Blake.
And look, I never forgot that name because my favorite jazz musician is you know who, right?
Miles Davis.
Miles Davis. Did you name him after Miles Davis?
No, it was just, I like the way it rang.
Oh, just Miles.
Miles Christopher Blake.
See, that's how brilliant you are. You didn't even know. And you just like naming him after the greatest musician, right? How do you feel?
I feel great.
How about being a mother?
I feel blessed, and I feel that my son has validated me as being a good mom. You know,
he's helped you to grow. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's helped me, but he's helped me see now that he's in college, and he's talked to me about why he's there. Like, I was prepared for college. Thanks, Mom, for having these types of conversations that my friends didn't have with their parents. So he sees the effort that I put into him when I was raising him. Now that he gets it, and so he tells me that I did a great job.
Was there a time when he and you maybe had some words, some conflict? Or
yeah, he was feeling and smelling himself.
Oh,
and so,
so it was all on him, right?
It was all him, wasn't me. And I remember I came to you.
Me?
I came to you because you deal with a lot of single moms.
Right.
And I told you that, he's starting to do that rebellious stuff.
Right.
And you gave me the best advice you could ever give me. You told me, if you yell at him, he won't hear you. And once he stops listening, you lose him. You told me to talk to him.
Right.
And you also told me to use guilt, which it worked.
Okay.
It worked. So you taught me how to communicate with my son.
Well, I'm certainly honored. It was easy helping you because, you can talk, but you also can listen and hear and execute, and you do that in your professional life very well.
Thank you.
Right? So I was honored to be a part of your life,
right,
and a part of his life. Right. And I understand he's in college.
He's in college.
What's he doing?
He's playing football.
Oh.
He's studying communications.
Okay, let me ask you. What position does he play?
Middle linebacker.
Oh, okay.
And a 3.9 GPA.
3.9. Okay, so I don't have to ask you like what does he weigh and how tall is he and all that stuff, right? Okay. Well, I'm very, very proud of him.
Thank you.
But what would you say to other mothers who maybe they're not reaching their and particularly young men, mothers raising young boys? Do you have any advice after looking back?
My background is in mentoring. It is really important that we as moms realize that we can raise young males, but it takes, for me personally, it took someone like you and surrounding myself with black men who I could come and talk to. Because what I used to tell my son, I said, I can tell you so much. There's just certain stuff I just don't know that I can't relate to. So I used to always tell him, talk to Torre. See, he never called you.
Right.
I used to say,
I figured he didn't want to talk to me. So.
No, but it wasn't that. And I used to try to get him mentors and things like that. Right. Making sure that you have the male role model figures in their life. There's just stuff that we're not going to know, we're not going to relate to. I don't know what's going on in his body, but giving them access to strong, positive male role models so that when they do go along the path or they do need some advice, there's someone there that can say, I've been there, I know what you're going through. But not just any male, a man who can walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah, they need the right kind of role model.
Role model.
Well, that's great advice because I get these phone calls all the time of mothers who say, I don't know what to do, I'm at a loss, I'm at my wit's end, and they're looking for help. And you know what I do, my life has changed to the point where I'm not in those classrooms every day like I used to be.
Yeah.
And I used to feel guilty about it.
Right.
It's not about me, but I'm saying that, it is important to find the right programs, the right mentors, the right role models to be in their lives. Now, aside from your son, just as a black woman in society, the perceived stigma of being a single mother, does it resonate with you? Does it mean anything to you? Is there a stigma Is there something to overcome in terms of an image that maybe?
You know, to me, it's about awareness. You have to be aware of like what we're putting out there. For me, it was never like, okay, I'm a single mom with my son. It was like, I've made these choices. I have to be accountable and hold myself responsible for the choices. So out of those choices, what kind of mother, what kind of woman am I going to be? So for me, it was about making sure that my son, that I spoke to him, that we had a relationship, that we had intimacy. You know, he was bused to Pally over, you know, way on the west side.
Right.
And all of his friends, he was, you know, I'm a football mom to the heart. And all of his friends came to my house. Okay. My 2-bedroom apartment.
And you would allow them to come in?
Yeah, and I fed them and let them spend the night. Our house was the house that you came to. They had 4 or 5 bedroom house. They had some of the kids who had 2 bedrooms, two parents in the home. Right. But what I did is I talked to them.
That sounds like my house.
Listen. You listen. It's getting them to get to what I recognize is getting them to listen to you is talking to them and not at them.
Okay.
Right. Not just preaching, but finding out. Like now, when my son comes home, all the boys come and they're like, "Okay, Mom, this is what's going on." I talk to those boys about sex, about football, about girls, about what turns a woman off for a man. I mean, we talk about everything because to have those real conversations to prepare them. And part of that is because of my consulting background and dealing with kids. Right. So I know how to have those conversations. Right. But it's really just about listening and being able to communicate with them so that they hear you. And realizing that the stuff, our own luggage as parents, the bad choices we make, don't put it on as a burden to them. Okay. I never wanted my son to feel that because of me, he didn't have a relationship with his father. Okay. I never wanted him to feel that there was anything he did that he didn't have a relationship with his father. What my son has learned is that his father is not in his life because his father chose not to be. Wow. It is not your burden to carry. Okay. And that's it. It's about owning up. I've made mistakes, son, being real. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, my bad, I messed up, but keep going. Being aware of what's healthy, the healthy choices. And when I didn't know, seek out the information. Right. You know, don't be embarrassed. But realize that it takes the villagers. We are not, what I did know was that to be able to raise a phenomenal son that I did, it was you, it was my mom, it was friends, it was my best friend, it was all of the villagers, but it was a healthy village, right? It was people who were wise, people who I looked up to, people who I could learn from, so that they weren't, so I wasn't just walking the walk, I was talking the talk with him.
So it is possible to be a success. Yes. As a single parent, single mother with a son.
Yes, it's possible, but you have to have it. You have to. Well, I did it once. I didn't have. I had one kid. Okay, let me just say. The only reason why I don't have more is because I never got the ring on the finger. I was not.
Put a ring on it. And that other
song. I had like 5.
I got you.
But I realized that, you know, and I was like, no, that's it for me. But it's really about. It's possible, but it's a journey, and you have to be open to letting some stuff go. You have to be open to letting go, and holding yourself responsible for what you contributed, regardless of what he did or did not do. I have to hold myself responsible because I saw who he was when I decided to have his baby. Okay. Right? But we think we can change them. We think we can raise them. We think we'll change the picture. What you see, what you get is what you get.
What you see?
You know, so that's it.
You have been so on it. You know, you guys are making these interviews so easy for me. So wise.
Thank you.
We need to be the Supreme Court. That's what we need to be. I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And I will see you next door.
Yes.
And I am so excited.
Me too.
This is going to be great.
It's going to be great.
This is Academy Awards.
Yes.
All right.
Got me good side.
God, we got you. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, babe.
That's Mike. Was I on time? Okay.